The summer of 1863, a time when the air was thick with tension and the future of a young nation was uncertain. The American landscape, once a tapestry of shared dreams, lay ripped apart by the brutalities of civil war. Fields that once bore crops now bore the scars of battle, and towns that once thrived with life now echoed with the sounds of conflict. Brother fought brother, neighbor against neighbor, as the Union and the Confederacy grappled for the soul of a nation. The bonds of family and friendship were tested as never before, and the very essence of what it meant to be American was questioned. Amidst this maelstrom of conflict, the small town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, found itself at the heart of a storm that would forever etch its name into the annals of American history. A town of just over 2,000 residents, Gettysburg would become synonymous with one of the most pivotal battles ever fought on American soil. From July 1st to July 3rd, 1863, the fate of the nation hung precariously in the balance as two massive armies, over 160,000 men in total, clashed in a furious battle that would become a turning point in the American Civil War. The rolling hills and fields of Gettysburg became a cauldron of chaos and courage, where the future of the United States was forged in fire and blood. The Battle of Gettysburg, a three-day conflagration of unimaginable ferocity, would leave an indelible mark on the American psyche, its echoes resonating through generations. The bravery and sacrifice displayed here would be remembered and honored for centuries to come. The fields and ridges surrounding Gettysburg, once tranquil and serene, would become the stage for a tragedy of epic proportions. The serene landscape was transformed into a theater of war, where every inch of ground was contested with fierce determination. Here, the ideals of liberty and union would be tested in the crucible of war, the very fabric of the nation hanging by a thread. The sacrifices made on these hallowed grounds would ultimately shape the future of the United States, ensuring that the nation, though divided, would emerge stronger and more united. The morning of July 1st, 1863, dawned hot and humid over Gettysburg. The air was thick with anticipation, as both Union and Confederate forces were unaware of the monumental clash that was about to unfold. What began as a seemingly insignificant encounter between Union cavalry and Confederate infantry quickly escalated into a desperate struggle for control of the town. The initial skirmish was fierce, with both sides realizing the strategic importance of Gettysburg. Confederate forces, led by Generals A.P. Hill and Richard Ewell, pushed back the outnumbered Union troops, driving them through the streets of Gettysburg and onto the high ground south of town. The Confederates were determined to press their advantage, hoping to deliver a decisive blow. Union General John Buford, recognizing the strategic importance of the high ground, deployed his cavalry to delay the Confederate advance and buy time for reinforcements to arrive. His quick thinking and tactical acumen were crucial in the unfolding battle. Buford's men fought with tenacity and courage, holding off a much larger force and preventing the Confederates from seizing the crucial heights. Their bravery and determination were instrumental in shaping the day's events. As the day wore on, reinforcements from both sides poured onto the battlefield. The intensity of the fighting increased, with neither side willing to give an inch. The fate of Gettysburg hung in the balance. The Union Army of the Potomac, commanded by General George G. Meade, arrived piecemeal, rushing into position to counter the Confederate assault. Meade's leadership and the timely arrival of his forces were critical in bolstering the Union defense. By nightfall, the Confederates had gained control of the town but had failed to dislodge the Union forces from their strong defensive positions on Cemetery Hill, Cemetery Ridge, and Culp's Hill. The stage was set for the next 2 days of brutal and decisive combat that would determine the outcome of the Battle of Gettysburg. Day 2 of the battle witnessed a desperate struggle for key terrain as both armies sought to gain the upper hand. Confederate General Robert E. Lee, recognizing the strength of the Union position, devised a daring plan to outflank the Union left and roll up their line. Throughout the afternoon and into the evening, fierce fighting raged at Little Round Top, Devil's Den, and the Wheatfield. Confederate troops, led by Generals James Longstreet and John Hood, launched furious assaults against the Union lines, only to be met with determined resistance. Despite moments of crisis, the Union defenders held their ground, repelling wave after wave of Confederate attacks. The day ended in a bloody stalemate, with neither side able to achieve a decisive breakthrough. Day 3 of the Battle of Gettysburg would witness one of the most iconic and tragic events in American military history: Pickett's Charge. With his army depleted and facing a formidable Union defense, Lee made the fateful decision to stake everything on a massive frontal assault against the center of the Union line. At around 3 p.m., following a massive artillery bombardment, approximately 12,500 Confederate soldiers, led by Major General George Pickett, emerged from the woods and advanced across nearly a mile of open ground towards the Union positions on Cemetery Ridge. The Confederate attack, though valiant, was met with a withering hail of Union artillery and rifle fire. The Confederate ranks were decimated, their advance shattered. Pickett's charge, the high tide of the Confederacy, had failed. Section 5. Leadership in the Cauldron Lee-Longstreet and the Weight of Decisions. The Battle of Gettysburg was not only a clash of armies but also a test of leadership. On the Confederate side, General Robert E. Lee, revered for his tactical brilliance, faced criticism for his decisions at Gettysburg, particularly his insistence on Pickett's charge. Lee's most trusted lieutenant, General James Longstreet, had vehemently opposed the attack, arguing for a strategic withdrawal and a flanking maneuver. The debate between Lee and Longstreet over the conduct of the battle at Gettysburg continues to be debated by historians to this day. On the Union side, General George G. Meade, though criticized for not pursuing Lee's retreating army more aggressively, had effectively maneuvered his forces and held the high ground, ultimately securing a crucial victory for the Union. Section 6. Voices from the Field, Soldiers' Tales of Courage and Carnage. The Battle of Gettysburg was more than just a clash of armies, it was a human drama played out on a grand scale. The stories of individual soldiers, both Union and Confederate, provide a poignant glimpse into the horrors of war and the extraordinary courage displayed by those who fought there. One Union soldier, writing home after the battle, described the scene as a perfect hell upon earth. A Confederate soldier, recalling Pickett's charge, wrote, "We went forward with 15,000 men. We came back with 5,000. If that was not hell, I do not know what is." These first-hand accounts serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of war and the sacrifices made by those who fought at Gettysburg. Section 7. A Turning Point, Gettysburg, and the Fate of the Confederacy. The Battle of Gettysburg is widely considered a turning point in the American Civil War. The Confederate defeat at Gettysburg, coupled with the Union victory at Vicksburg on the same day, July 4, 1863, marked the beginning of the end for the Confederacy. The battle severely weakened Lee's Army of Northern Virginia, which would never again regain the strategic initiative. The Confederacy, already stretched thin by the war, lost a significant portion of its fighting force at Gettysburg, a loss from which it would never fully recover. The Union victory at Gettysburg also had a profound impact on Northern morale, bolstering support for the war effort and strengthening President Abraham Lincoln's hand. Section 8. Hallowed Ground, the Legacy of Gettysburg in the American Memory. In the aftermath of the battle, the fields of Gettysburg, once a scene of unimaginable carnage, were transformed into a solemn and sacred ground. The echoes of the past linger in the air, a poignant reminder of the immense sacrifices made. The landscape, dotted with memorials and monuments, tells the story of bravery, loss, and the enduring human spirit. Each monument stands as a silent witness to the valor and the tragedy that unfolded here. The Gettysburg National Cemetery, dedicated by President Lincoln in November 1863, stands as a testament to the sacrifices made by those who fought and died there. The rows of white headstones, stretching as far as the eye can see, serve as a stark reminder of the cost of war. Lincoln's presence at the dedication ceremony underscored the significance of this hallowed ground in the nation's history. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, delivered at the dedication of the cemetery, has become one of the most famous and enduring speeches in American history, a timeless articulation of the principles of liberty and equality for which the Union soldiers fought. His words, "Government of the people, by the people, for the people," continue to resonate through the ages, reminding us of the ideals that define the American spirit. Today, Gettysburg remains a place of pilgrimage for millions of visitors each year, drawn to its hallowed ground to pay homage to the past and to reflect on the enduring legacy of the American Civil War. The site serves not only as a historical landmark but also as a place for personal reflection and education. Families, historians, and tourists alike come to walk the fields, visit the monuments, and remember the sacrifices that shaped the nation. The legacy of Gettysburg continues to inspire and educate future generations about the cost of freedom and the importance of unity. Section 9. Conclusion: A nation forged in blood and remembrance. The Battle of Gettysburg stands as a pivotal moment in American history, a testament to the human cost of conflict and the enduring power of hope and resilience. The sacrifices made on those 3 bloody days in July 1863 helped to preserve the Union and to ensure that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth. As we remember the Battle of Gettysburg, we are reminded of the fragility of peace and the importance of preserving the hard-won freedoms that were secured by those who fought and died there. May we never forget their sacrifices, and may their legacy continue to inspire us to strive for a more just and compassionate world.